That's salary in United. That's
is it 130K or not?
I wouldn't know. Like, it's a scale. And you got that.
That's a US.
Just a few people were planning to switch to JavaScript, but then they saw this graph.
Slightly lower.
People were thinking of switching to React Native won't switch.
Alright, can we get over
Yeah,
it?
sure.
Yes.
Okay, so what does that mean for us? So yes, I have some stats. See, 90% of the time that someone uses a mobile application is spent on mobile apps rather than the browser. And the second point here is there are 2.5 billion mobile phone users in the world, and that number is like rising very fast. So that number is soon going to be 5 billion, sooner than we expect. Now the third problem here is that software maintenance is a problem. Like iOS and Android code has to be maintained separately. They have to mirror exact same functionality, which is difficult. And this is another graph here that I have. This is interest over time, which is along the y-axis. And red stands for iOS and blue stands for React Native, of course. So you'll see it's caught on after 2015 and it has taken over iOS app development, the interest. So there has to be something at work here. This is a joke, by the way. Not funny enough. Okay, now there's a very big problem with React Native that I wanted to talk about. Is that a lot of pieces of functionality or a lot of things that should be present in React are not developed enough. Because React Native is a young language, like there's been work going on in native, Android and iOS for quite some time now, but React Native we are just catching on. So for example, this was a client project of mine where it involved making a Bluetooth mesh network of mobile phones. Like suppose there are 10 mobile phones right here, and any data sent from one mobile phone, like suppose mine, should sync up with all of them. So it desired an exact same mesh network application. So we tried building this with React Native. We tried a couple of libraries, but we couldn't even get the Bluetooth names to display. So later on we find this, I'll come to that later actually, with my projects. So there has to be a solution, there has to be a better way that we can tackle this problem. And yes, that's what I do. It's called bridging, so welcome to the bridge. Alright, my first Bluetooth, this was my first project, which was building a mesh network. So we did some research, we couldn't find anything in React Native. We found this native library by the name of Underdark. This is its GitHub repo. And we saw the demo. This is a demo. This is their homepage actually, underdark.io. So they've got this video on the page where even iOS and Android devices, they sync up. They replicate exact same mesh functionality. So we liked this native library. We forwarded it to a client and even he liked it. So later on we finally bridged it in React Native. So it is working now. We have this library working in React Native.
So we as